So, girls, when you have a base or a number raised to the power, okay, that's called an index form or exponential form. Okay, the opposite of exponential form is actually called logarithmic form. And when you switch a logarithmic form, you're actually making the power the subject. Okay, so 2 to the power of 3 gives you the value, whereas if you switch the logarithmic form, you're actually making the power the subject. Okay, and the way it's read is logarithm of 8 with the base 2 is 3. So in other words, 2 to the power of what is 8? 3. So switching logarithmic form gives you the power which is needed to give a certain number. All right? So that's the actual definition. Let's actually get to the questions. So the first technique that you got to be able to do is if they give you this logarithmic form, you need to change this log form into index form. So in other words, no logs. Okay? So basically, in this case, girls, does it make sense if I say 2 to the power of 4 equals to 16? Does that make sense? Yep. So that's how you change it. Okay? So if they give you a log form and you want to change it to index form, basically the way I like to think of it is to get the answer straight away, get that bottom number and just raise it to the number on the other side. Does that make sense? Okay? Same thing here. So if I have this logarithmic form here and I want to get it in index form, what you do is you get that number and you kind of dig it to the other number on the other side. So this becomes 10 and the 2 goes up to 2, which is equal to that number by itself. Does that make sense? 100 is equal to 10 to the power of 2. That makes sense, yeah? That's right. Okay, so that's how you change it. Now you also got to be able to go backwards. Here's the index form. Change that into logarithmic form. Some number is equal to some number. To there, 32 is equal to 5. That's right. Girls, like I said, when you're changing it to logarithmic form, you're making the power the subject by itself. Okay? So the way I like to look at it is, bring the 5 down, but bring the 2 up. So you have 2 at the bottom and 32 goes up. So that's the way I like to kind of get it straight away. So same thing here. So remember, when you're changing it to log, what are you making the subject of? What's the power? It's the power, right? So we want to make the power by itself. But then what are the 2 numbers that go here and here? 10 and then 1 over 10. Alright, so this is my logarithmic form and how to change it from one to another. Okay, so when you're changing it to logarithmic form, you're making the power the subject. Alright, sometimes what they'll do similarly, they'll ask you to just evaluate it, meaning what's the actual value of this. So if they give you that, you can't actually just type that in the calculator. There is a button for log, but you can't type in log 16 to give the answer because we have a base of 2. Right? In order to actually evaluate this, what you do is you make it equal to some value that we don't know because we're trying to find that out and change it to index form. How do I change this index form? What do? Dig it under. So 16 is equal to 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x. And what is that number? What power do I need here to get to 16? 4. So that's my answer. The value of log to 16 is 4. Okay? Because log is all about what is the power. Now with this one though, this is an exception. If you have base of 10, girls, you can just simply type log 5 in the calculator and that will give you the answer straight away. The only time that you can't put it in the calculator is if it's not a number besides 10 or the number e, which we'll learn next time. But just know that typing log means the same thing as typing log 10 and the number next to it, log 5. Alright, so if I do put down the calculator, I am going to get some decimal, log 5, and it says to one decimal place, it's 0.7. Okay, so basically this is the definition of log and exponential. Next lesson I'll show you where it's used in like actual practical settings, but for now just be able to know how to change from exponential form to logarithmic form. Okay? Any question about the definition that I wrote? Anything confusing? Nope. Alright, girls, that's basically it. Okay, so just try the exercise out. The questions that I want you to do in that exercise is 4 to 14. There are some harder questions at the end which I really want you girls to try. Alright, but that's what I want you to do from the first exercise. Okay? Right, thanks girls.